Alright, we are back for round 2 of Fate locations in the real world. About 2 years back, I did a video on the same topic, so make sure you check that out later if you haven't already. So first up, we have the Totsuka Station area from Yokohama, Japan. This involves scenes from the Heaven's Feel movies, such as Shiro walking home with Sakura from school, or Shiro patrolling the district with Saber to find out what was going on with the other masters. In the real world, it's comprised of different parks, stores, and walkways from different areas. You have Garden Ginza, which is one of the biggest tropical fish stores in Tokyo. Sakura was there contemplating on her way home. You have the Nintendo Pharmacy that Shiro and Saber walked by during their nightly patrol. You have the cafe that Sakura also walked by. And you even have a lot of scenery that you see throughout the HF movies when it starts snowing. 1 mile away from Totsuka Station, and you'll come across Mioki Park. This is where Shiro spoke about his ideals with Ilya, how he felt about the situation, and how he planned to deal with it. A lot of bonding in these scenes, and it's very important for the development of both characters. In the real world, it's relatively the same. It is your average modest park with rice fields and walkways when you want to get away from the congested atmosphere in the city. Sometimes you just gotta look into the sky and ask, why did my FGO pools turn out this way? Next up, we have the Yokohama Foreign General Cemetery. Now I know what you're thinking. Whoa, Saya, that's kind of morbid, ain't it? Look, I'm not telling y'all to go to a cemetery. All I'm saying is, if you get into it with somebody while you're there, you know where to go. Nah, I'm joking. This is the scene from Fate Zero where Kirei issued the Azov dagger to Rin Totsuka. This was the same weapon that he used to kill her father. Only a sick bastard would enjoy something so evil, which would probably explain the expression on my face right now. Next up, we have the Hyogo Archery Hall. This is where Shiro and many other members of the cast would practice their archery sessions. Shinji, Sakura, and even Taiga will show you the way of the bow. In the real world, it is the archery hall for the people that visit Akashi Park. It operates from 9 to 5, 6 days a week, and they charge about $25 for a couple of hours depending on the time that you go. Going back into the city, we have the Shinto Area of Fuyuki. This is where Saber and Medusa fought in the Fate route. Shiro even mentions in the game that the city was still in development. And just like in the story, the counterpart buildings were made on a new development plan. It is known as Makuhari City, where you have several places like the same train station in Fate, distribution companies, and even the stadium for their baseball team. Venturing on out to the middle of nowhere, we have the Erensburn Ruins. This is where Shiro, Saber, and Rin had a threesome in the forest. Don't ask me why that's canon, okay? It happened. It is also the same place that Kirei fought against Hassan in Heaven's Field. In the real world, this is located in the forest of Mount Maya, which you can find on the outskirts of the city of Kobe. Originally, the hotel was used as a welfare facility. It had a lot of attractions and different things for people that were in that area. However, it took its first beating when it got bombed during the air raids of World War II. The owner eventually fixed it up, sold it to somebody else. Then, when that person had it, it got hit by a typhoon. So clearly this place just can't get a break. Nonetheless, it still stands as of today, even if it's just ruins that you can visit at any time. Now, let's move over to a section for the deep pocket ballers. we have the Mount Mihama shopping district. This is the same district where Kirei and Shiro had lunch together. In the real world, it is the Pura Mall shopping street, which is a 5-block shopping strip with restaurants and events depending on the season. And for those of you who are just fiending to get your hands on that Mapo tofu, I wasn't able to find the exact shop, but there are several Chinese takeouts near this same location. For those of you who are looking for something more wholesome, we have the park. In the real world, it is known as the Nakase Children's Playground. This is yet another location that Shiro and Ilya met up during Heaven's Feel. And as you can see, there were a lot of shots from the park that converted straight into the anime. Next up, we have Shiro's high school, Hatahara. Once again, this academy is the same place where majority of the cast attends. Unfortunately for us, the place no longer exists. It got shut down back in 2009. Turns out they didn't have enough students, didn't have enough money, so they got that building out of here. And if you take a look, it's practically identical to the real life counterpart. I even managed to come across the slope road that they take to the school over in Tokyo. And finally, we have the inner city. These are the scenes from Phase Zero where Ren began to investigate the kidnappings that were happening in the city. The real world location for this scene is Nakano Broadway, which is yet another shopping strip in the city of Tokyo. A lot of cool places where you can vibe out in general, and there's a couple of stores that have merch for anime fans. For now, these are all the places I have. I'm gonna try to do better about putting these locations in the description, just in case you guys wanna visit there when you're over in Japan. I do realize, however, that COVID is hitting different these days, and it's definitely not gonna be the same experience going now as it was going back then. But it's something to look forward to nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Shout out to all the patrons, and I will be back with more Tight Moon content. It is your boy Saya. I'm out.